Alright guys, so this video right here is over the last material. Okay, this is bonus material. I mean, you're gonna get tested on it, but it wasn't something that I had the time to necessarily go over in class. This one we did, but the last part you won't have seen. But I do want you to see this video, that way you can understand it and get through the question anyway. So this one right here is like an actual question where you have to see what's going on with the graph, right? So here they say a buoy is bobbing up and down in a wave as it passes, moving from its highest point to its lowest point and then back to its highest point every 10 seconds. So from the high to the low to the high again, okay? The distance between the high point and the low point is 3 feet, okay? So determine amplitude and period. Guys, I went ahead and drew it down because I read part B. So read this so that it's the x equals 0 is the high point. So here x equals 0 is the high point. So I know I'm going 3 down from there and then back up again. Okay, so here, again guys, what I want to do is find the center. Okay, so this is my box right here. Okay, so my center is going to be half of 3 feet. So right here I have 1.5, and here I have 1.5 also. Okay, you can't really see it, it's kind of blurry, but 1.5 up from the center, 1.5 up down. Okay, so when I'm talking about amplitude, guys, it's the distance from here to there. So my amplitude is 1.5. Okay, and they told me from the high point to the low point to the high point again is 10. So here my period is 10. Okay, so if I wanted to write an equation, I already have most of the information here. Okay, so amplitude, period, the next thing would be the phase shift and the vertical shift. And so here I see the center line moved from here 1.5 down. Okay, and the phase shift is, well, I forgot to mention, this is the cosine graph. I'm starting at the top and I'm getting over here. So the cosine graph, and here I can see that I didn't shift it left or right, so none. Okay, now the only thing I need to remember is that period is not what I want. I need to find the b value, and that's how I find it using this equation here. So if I cross multiply, and you can say this is over 1, 10 times b is 10b, 2 pi times 1 is 2 pi, divided by 10, divided by 10, b is equal to, pi over 5. Okay, so if I plug it into my equation, again, we already said there was a cosine. My amplitude is 1.5. My b value is pi over 5. And we can call this x. No c value, and then I just add, I subtract 1.5 because I went down. Okay, so last thing I'm going to cover here, we didn't get to talk about these right here. This is the graph for secant and cosecant, and so if I use secant as a base here, guys, okay, what I want you to know, we already know that cosine and secant are related. So really what I'm looking at here is the cosine graph. Okay, so if I were to make a point from here to there and then back to here, so this right here, it should look like the cosine graph. Okay, and then it's just going to keep going up and down, up and down, up and down. Okay, so first thing I want to do is find the center line. So from here to there, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 little blocks. So from here I go 1, 2, 3 up. So the center line didn't change. Okay, it's staying there in the center. Okay, it didn't move up, did not move down. Next thing I want to find out is the okay, so here vertical shift, there's none. So you play around with this like if it were the cosine or the sine graph, depending on which one you're looking at. Okay, again, I know this is the cosine graph because cosine is related to secant. Okay, phase shift. So I did see I moved this way a little bit. Okay, so I moved to the left. Well, I guess let's go in order the way we've been doing. So amplitude, from here I went 1, 2, 3 up, so the amplitude is 3. Okay. Period. Okay, so again, period is between here and here. So again, guys, we can go ahead and just say that this is 1, 2, 3, 4 little blocks. So 4 blocks is 1, 2, 3, 4. So my period here is pi, but I don't want that. I want my b value. Okay, so this becomes pi b equals 2 pi. Divide by pi, divide by pi. So b is equal to 2. Okay. Now, I guess to be more accurate, guys, I mean, I know I told you guys not to look at the middle, but you see how this moved to the left and it's in between the two squares? So here, from there to there is pi over 4. So half of pi over 4 is pi over 8. So just, I mean, because I already know it over here. I did move to the left and I moved by pi over 8 because that's half a square. Okay. So I have all my info now. All I have to do is plug it in. So my amplitude put in the same spot is going to be a 3. My b I found out was a 2. My phase shift was pi over 8. And plus sign because I moved to the left. I didn't erase that, so that stays there. And I mean, you don't have to put value for d, but that's what I would do if I did. So similarly over here, guys, I'm not going to go through the whole problem, but I'm dealing here with the cosecant, so I know it's related to sine. Okay, so sine starts in the middle and goes all the way to the edge, right? So here, I had to extend this a little bit. So here, this is where the graph starts, goes up, goes down, comes back here. So I did move to the left also by 2 squares, which I know 2 squares is pi over 2. I mean, we can do it here. Okay. So, I know the center line moved, right? Because I hear between this peak and this peak, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 squares. So it's 3 up here. So I moved the whole thing 2 up. Amplitude is from the center. I went 1, 2, 3 down, or 1, 2, 3 up. So the amplitude's 3 here. Period is moving from here to there. So here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 squares. So I know that 8 squares is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 2 pi. And 2 pi over b. Remember, I want to find b, so it becomes 2 pi b equals 2 pi. Here they'll cancel. B is equal to just 1. Okay. Phase shift, I moved it 2 squares to the left. And I know that 2 squares is equal to pi over 2. So when I fill this into my equation, this is a 3. This is a 1. So I mean, I don't have to put anything there. I move to the left, pi over 2, and 2. So 2 examples here, guys. Again, we didn't have time to go over this in class, but this is how you would go about with these problems, okay?